What's up everybody, welcome back to Myles of Bacon Games, and today we're talking about the Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 campaign. This review will tackle specific story moments, so if you don't want them spoiled for you, I recommend playing through the campaign and then coming back to this video. Additionally, content for this review was captured on PlayStation 5. The Modern Warfare 1 and 2 reboot campaigns were great because they retained much of the DNA from the original games while telling all new stories. They introduced characters that we cared about, like Alex Keller, Farah Kareem, and Alejandro Vargas, just to name a few, while masterfully bringing back fan favorites like Captain Price, Gaz, Soap, and Ghost. These campaigns were ambitious as they told nuanced stories that blurred the lines between the wars we were fighting and the people impacted by them. Modern Warfare 3's approach is a bit different though, as it builds its foundation on nostalgia by bringing back Vladimir Makarov, arguably Call of Duty's greatest antagonist. The main question here is whether or not the gamble to lean on nostalgia pays off in making this a worthwhile story to experience. So let's get into it. When it was revealed at the end of the Modern Warfare 2 campaign that Makarov would be our next target, I won't lie, I was pretty pumped, and it became the main reason I began looking forward to Modern Warfare 3. That excitement took me right through his reveal during the game's first mission, Operation 627, where we see him freed from the Gulag after 4 years of imprisonment. His introduction is done so well, and it does a fantastic job of setting the tone for the rest of the game. We spend most of the campaign one frustrating step behind Makarov. For example, in the mission Flashpoint, we work as Task Force 141 to take down Makarov's forces who have taken over a football stadium. After we get him in custody, he reveals that the stadium operation was a diversion to keep us away from his real target, a nearby airport, which detonates from the inside as we fly away, rendering it too late for us to do anything about it. He then mocks Shepard and Task Force 141 for having been outsmarted by him. Then, in the mission Passenger, which is a recreation of the infamous No Russian mission, Makarov uses a former ULF soldier to bring down a plane full of Russian citizens in an attempt to spark conflict between Russia and Urzikstan. Our only recourse to his actions here come in the following mission Crash Site, where we play as Farah attempting to destroy planted evidence that was intended to frame the ULF for the attack. Playing from behind Makarov in this way made me feel emotionally connected to Task Force 141's efforts to take him down. It made for a thrilling and emotionally gripping story that I thoroughly enjoyed playing through. Though Makarov does admittedly steal much of the spotlight, it can't be overstated just how good it feels to have Task Force 141 back in full form. They were technically re-established in the Modern Warfare 2 reboot, and though it does feel like their character chemistry was more fleshed out in that game, having them return as familiar faces really brings me back to that feeling of excitement of seeing them return in the original Modern Warfare 3. But while the classic Task Force 141 vs. Makarov story hits a lot of high notes, it's overshadowed by an inconclusive and unsatisfying ending with no setup for what may happen in the future. I won't spoil the ending here, but it felt abrupt and a bit rushed. So while I did enjoy playing through the actual story, I walked away feeling somewhat unsatisfied by it as a whole due to the execution of the ending. Okay, so moving on. The newest addition to the campaign structure are open combat missions, which aim to give players the freedom to tackle objectives however they see fit. I actually had a lot of fun with these missions, to be honest. For example, in the mission Reactor, you're tasked with taking out 3 helos that are scattered across the map. On one attempt, I attempted to use an ATV to perform hit-and-run tactics where I would rush in to get close to the chopper, toss C4 at it as I was passing by, and detonate it as I was driving off. That's just one of the many ways you can complete objectives thanks to the open combat mission structure. But the excitement does start to dwindle a bit after a while, owing to the repetitiveness of these objectives themselves. The 6 open combat missions also disrupt the flow of the campaign itself, creating a type of stop-and-go momentum that I really didn't love. So while I really enjoyed being able to be creative in regards to how I completed objectives, open combat missions left me missing the traditionally linear mission style of past Call of Duty games. So looking at the Modern Warfare 3 campaign as a whole, I think it ultimately does what it sets out to do. By bringing back the classic Task Force 141 vs. Makarov fight in a new reimagined story, this year's campaign brings us back to the glory days of the original Modern Warfare 2 and 3 stories with exciting modern twists. Though it was held back by an unsatisfying ending and open combat missions that don't quite hit the mark, I ultimately had a good time playing through this story, and it's one I would recommend playing through if you're looking for that taste of nostalgia. If you want more details on my thoughts regarding the Modern Warfare 3 campaign, visit MylesOfBaconGames.com for my full review. I'll leave a link to that in the description below, as well as links to the multiplayer and zombies review once those become available. If you liked this video, please hit the like button and subscribe for more reviews. You can also follow me on Twitter at MylesOfGames and on Instagram at MylesOfBacon Games for daily content. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.